Taking those deep breaths. Setting back, tuning into yourself. Let the information take you to where you want to be. Making conscious self-care moves. Thank you for dancing and breathing with me today. Greetings in love and kindness, family. I'm Karen Khadijah Davis-Foulks, the one and only Conscious Self Healthcare educator and host of the Conscious Self Healthcare Conversation radio show. Every Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Community, this is your time to share your wellness stories and how you move from disease care to conscious self-health care. I want to hear your story. We want to hear from you. Join the conversation each Wednesday. Call in and share how you shift out of chronic disease care stress. Right here on InnerLightRadio.com, the healing frequency. This is Dr. K, and I am looking forward to our conversation. So call in and share. Health is consciousness, and healing is a function of consciousness. Come on, family. It's time to rock the world with the new frontier of conscious self-health care, while I share my wellness story with you right here on InnerLightRadio.com, the healing frequency. That's right, family. We got to rock the world. Making those conscious self-health care moves. Mental observation is essential for self-success. Taking those deep breaths. Moving that body, taking the time to tune into yourself during this hour.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. Oh, I'm gonna make that change. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize.
There are some with no home, without a nickel to loan. Could it be really me pretending that they're not alone?
changes ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. Try to get it right while you got the time, 'cause when you close your heart, you close your mind. Na 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 na. Make that change. Oh yeah. Make that change.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. You're aboard the friendship train. We're riding around, working with everyone and helping them to know who they are and become their own wellness doctor. That's what I mean by know who you are. That you can take care of yourself because only you know what you are doing to yourself. This is April, Conscious Self Healthcare and Lymphatic Cellular Wellness Month, and April 30th is Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day, where you get the opportunity to look and see how you've been taking care of your human body and your energetic vibration. Yes, cells give off that energetic vibration of the truth of who you really are. I'm Reverend Dr. Khadijah Davis-Foulks, coming to you straight and live from the non-secular science of medicine. And we all know that April is Poetry Month. You know, this is our 12th year of celebrating Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day, and April being Conscious Self-Health Care and Lymphatic Cellular Wellness Month. So, this show is dedicated to a long time person that I say I am a friend to, that's been in my life since the age of 17, 18, maybe 17, 18. Yes, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey, like going up a mountain and coming down a mountain. It's been a journey like some say they swam across the ocean. It's been a journey like a long train ride. There was some ups and there was some downs, and there was some straights and then there was some turnarounds. But it's all good, because that's what life brings you, to teach you, to show you who you are, what you say that you are, and how you live in your life. I'm living my life like it's golden. Sometimes it didn't feel like with Brother Humam Abdulmalik, but everything is a blessing. So today on this show, I am honoring the poetic side of Brother Humam Abdulmalik. This is something that cannot be taken away. He is a dynamic poet. However, I'm going to choose poems that he wrote about me, my family, and some light poetry of his, because his stuff is really, really deep. And I think only he should be the one to read those. So when you hear the poems, I'm going to read them, but remember, they are coming from Brother Humam Abdulmalik, known to me as Larry Wims. Larry T. Wims is the name that I met years ago. And then in 2000, he came back into my life. He recognized me before I recognized him. But what I did recognize was energy, because energy does not lie. I'm more of an energetic energy person. Walked past this brother and I said, that energy is strong. I need to get to know him. And I hesitated and I stepped back and I said, Karen, go speak to him. And I said, nah, I'm going to keep walking. And lo and behold, he said, Karen. I say, what? You know what I mean? And then he explained how we know each other. And I was like, wow, all I know is your energy is divine. So the journey that we've gone through, what I know deep inside of the being that he is his energy is true. So sometimes you struggle with the energetic person and the outer human. And that's where you have to create balance, because energy doesn't lie. Energy is energy, and most oftentimes people are struggling with their own energy. So one of the first things we did when we ran across each other again, he let me know how he was a divine poet and how he liked poetry. So we began to create some poetry together, and then I put together a book for him, Reflection and Contrast, all of his poetry that he had done over the years. And that's what I'm going to share from you from the book and the CD, Reflection and Poetry. Now, I didn't do the CD. Another brother did the CD, but I created the book. No more buts, Karen. Okay. I'm going to go straight through because I'm dedicating this whole show to Brother Humam Abdulmalik, who is currently in 2022 my roommate. And there's been a shift and a change. But like I say, you can't deny poetry when it comes out. So here's one of the 2 poems that we created for the young youth program for men that I developed. And so the first poem is, and I'm going to go straight through. I've only read these poems once. Remember, they're coming from him. Forgive me if I stumble. It's all good. This first poem we created together in 2001. Remember, he came back in my life in 2000. Flashlight. Take this flashlight, young man, to promote self-guidance. When you feel like you have entered into the darkness, take the direction of the light, positive thinking. You can make the right choice. You hold the flashlight. It's okay to be the oddball. However, when others don't appreciate you and your values, then you know that this is the wrong crowd. Know that there is a permanent light that shines within. So there is no darkness or confusion, just a flashlight to promote self-guidance, self-awareness, and most of all, self-control. Take this flashlight, young man, and arm yourself with the truth. 2001, Karen Davis-Foulks and Humam Abdulmalik. That means I did most of the lyrics in this one. The other one, for young men. The hammer. Take this hammer, young man. Hold it secure in your hands. Build a strong foundation of honesty and humility. Take this handheld tool and hold it tightly. Build a strong foundation of self-respect and pride. Take this hammer with a firm grip and knock down those walls of false brotherhood and first build a wall of selfhood. Take this hammer, young man, and know real authentic power is not in the power of the hand, but in the power of the mind. Young man, you have to control yourself or someone else will control you. So take this hammer and build a strong foundation of true authentic power. Copyrighted 2001, Humam Abdulmalik and Karen Davis-Foulks, which means he also wrote the majority of that one. Take a deep breath with me, family. We're aboard the friendship train ride, and we're celebrating Poetry Month as we celebrate Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day, April 30th. Okay, here we go. This poem is called Change. It don't have a date when Mr. Malik wrote it, but here we go. Why don't you think about change? Isn't it about time to stop playing games? There is nobody else to blame. So take control of your soul and be the captain of your soul. And don't slip into the trap that they set for you and you don't have a clue. That it all started from school, treating you like you were an educated fool. Saying you always been under their rule, a slave from your birth to the grave. So that's why you behave the way that you do. But it's time now that you grow into the giant that you always been, without the sin. Before you came into contact with them, those affected by the Nephilim, oh, you don't know him? It's because they changed his name in the Bible, Genesis 6:4 and Numbers 13:33. So how can you reach spiritual understanding? When they be demanding, you walk through life with your eyes wide shut and your mind closed to what you're supposed to know and accept as truth. As one wise sage once said, in order to turn the page in life and make a change, you have to look at the man in the mirror. But as I look in the mirror, I saw no reflection of me. I said, how can this be? As I shook with fear. But then everything became clear. I heard an inner voice within me, and nobody else heard it but me. And it said, you have reached the degree and level where you are mentally free and not affected by the devil. Because I was the only one there listening, it became clear that I was a humble mission to change the condition of those who was not listening to the inner voice within themselves. But I wasn't in despair, because I knew they didn't care by the example they made clear. As the inner voice continued, I confirmed the change I made within, and then I realized as I approached the altar of my ancestors, I gave libations out respect and honor for them in my reflection of change from my beginnings to my end. As it was then, it shall be now. The path I follow without sin, but with genuine humble submission to help guide and protect the elders and the youth. So be it my change. Brother Humam Abdulmalik. Taking a deep, deep, deep breath. Going to the next one. This show is dedicated to Brother Humam Abdulmalik because April is Poetry Month. The Unseen Barrier. Y'all know I'm a doctor of lymphology, non-secular science, and medicine. So when you're around me, you got to think about some things of being in control of your health. So as we journey together on a health journey, Brother Humam wrote this poem, The Unseen Barrier. Like sweet water and salt water come together and don't mix, there's a barrier. So don't listen to the tricks of the money-motivated personalities who will have you fear your own finality. It's already written, so don't be committing your own downfall and stand tall. 'Cause it's about growth and development, naturally sent. Remember, you can't make yourself worse to get better. No matter how clever it may sound, it brings your body down. How can you regress to progress? You do not, according to the natural text of life, which should be sacred like a wife and sex. 'Cause you know what's going to happen next. Joy and happiness, clarity, which is a rarity. After sharecropping the clock on today's modern plantation, partly ran by the medical industrial complex. Become your own doctor and start the process of natural healing and see how you will be feeling in the garden of life. With fruits and vegetables as your medicine that are God sent. The unseen barrier, like synthetic and genetic, they don't mix. One is like the kiss of God, the other puts you in a medical nod. The Creator does not make it hard for you. Healing is a very simple natural process. You have to be willing to go through the test of healing. in order to redress the malfunctions of the cell, so that you will get to the state of being well. You can be, or you can do it God's way or man's way. God's way is truly the natural way. Who do you pray to? Your power lies within you. Now here's the clue. Oxygen plus pumps plus electricity equals power. Not chemical power or nuclear power, but conscious power. Your God-given right to reverse all the distresses in your life. You are your own personal doctor. So take back your power and live. The Unseen Barrier by Brother Humam Abdulmalik comes from the way I teach people to take care of their body, and the words from Dr. Samuel C. West, his formula: oxygen plus cells, which he calls pumps, plus electricity equal power. Take back your power, people, and be your own wellness doctor. That's what we talk about on the friendship train. Everybody shake a hand, be a friend. Today we're honoring Brother Humam Abdulmalik, and I'm sharing some of his poetry on Poetry Month. I'm dedicating this show to him. My eyes are getting watery already. That's only been 3 poems. But here we go. Zephyr breeze. I'll get that word right throughout this reading. From the coolness of a zephyr breeze, a rite of passage, and doing all we please, to the stench of being trapped, kidnapped, demoralized, and knocked to our knees. Kings and queens forced to be unwanted things. Even the spirit cries out, this is a shame. The way we had to work the fields of sugar cane, tobacco, and cotton. From the prophets we did not get anything. After all the blood, tears, and sweat, they still show us nothing but neglect. They didn't want us to read, but only to take care of their needs. To believe that we were born to be slaves, and only 3/5 of a human being, was a game they played, along with changing our names to nigger, negro, and color folk. We even had to watch the way we spoke, or that would have gotten us choked, castrated, and maybe even amputated. We couldn't even pray because we didn't know whether their God would listen to what we had to say. And our God wouldn't let anybody treat anybody that way. You see, I remember the coolness of the zephyr breeze and being shocked from the stench of the dead bodies hanging in the trees, and mankind doing whatever it pleased to man around the world as its patriotic flag unfurls. Every black boy and girl needs to be taught the way of the world and who they are, plus where they came from. This is a must in order for them to gain spiritual trust, also the connection with our ancestors, who gives them the prescription of life, which is in their DNA. You have to listen to what they say. 1, your body is a temple, so keep it purified and clean, because it holds the spiritual energy and the breath of God that He breathed into you to bring you to life. Praise the Lord. To this is all you knew. To this is all you need to know in order for you to grow into the righteous, more human being that is not caught up in worldly things, so that you can stay sane and maintain the God consciousness as you go back to blackness before time was recorded, when Asar, Aset, and Hebrew gave you Mayat, the balance, and Tuhuti, the scribe, wrote down information.
So you would know who you are in ancient future and who you were in the future past. So as you inhale divine knowledge and exhale ancestral universal wisdom to the prisms of life, never forget that stench that knocked your ancestors to their knees and that strange fruit that hung from the trees. But now you can stand where you please across the 7 seas, or those trapped, kidnapped, and demoralized, because you realize the God in you, and they have no clue of who you are or how far you come, not to be dumb down or part of the pipeline to prison, because you make divine decisions. So can you feel it? Can you feel it? That coolness of the zephyr breeze, like beneath the shade of the coconut and palm trees. Stay self-motivated along with self-esteem and live your dreams in your manifested reality. The Zephyr Breeze by Humam Abdulmalik. And we'll continue on. Doing pretty good. Let's see if I can get through. I got 3 more. And this show is dedicated to Brother Humam Abdulmalik. What happened to the revolution? He says. Water's getting in my eyes. Gotta clear my eyes so I can read once again. What happened to the revolution? I said, what happened to the revolution? Assimilation, integration, fabrication, assassination, incarceration, indoctrination, manipulation of the people who have been educated from birth throughout their lives to be indebted by way of televised lies to a system that is commercialized and devised in a material disgust for them to never realize the effects of racism and classism. As a few keep control and want to stay on top, like they did and are doing from the auction block, to the numbers on the dockets in the cell block, a judicial process that they won't stop, because indentured servitude is slavery. As they hail all those who show bravery in the game of cops and robbers that they play only because and not for a cause that is counted as our loss. What happened to the revolution? Besides programs, tokenism, agent provocateurs, and being pacified by those who hide behind the Americanized dream with no benefits. Because E Pluto's Unu still means the same thing. One out of many. Exploitation, trickology, psychology, all tools being used by the multi-dollar billionaires of the political right. No matter Democratic or Republican, they want to keep us in this plight with no will to fight. No matter black or white, yellow or brown, it's the system holding us all down. And we can't wait any longer, because our situation become compound like anarchy or a police state. For God's sake, no more collateral damage for the military industrial complex to create another ghost villain. As they be killing innocent children with their laser guided smart bombs, missing their targets, now intelligently bomb of them. How intelligently dumb of them. Imperialistic, gone capitalistically mad. What happened to the revolution? They say is not needed. Here is the solution. We will put a black man at the head of our political institution. With no reparation, is just another sideshow for the world to view. E pluribus unum, one out of many. Everything still remains the same in the game of democracy. see that they play. Democratic poker as they gamble with our lives. Nothing in this world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. The words of Dr. Martin Luther King. What happened to the revolution? Well, let me say that one more time. Nothing in this world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. The words of Dr. Martin Luther King. What happened to the revolution? By Brother Humam Abdulmalik, poet extraordinary. Now I'm here to tell you, he got some powerful poems, but these are just a few that I chose. As I want to honor Brother Humam Abdulmalik on Poetry Month, when I created his poetry book for him about 2000, 2001, after running into him after not seeing him for over like 13 years, he did a stint in prison, 12 years. Turned a Muslim, wrote some poetry, had some deeper understanding. But it was such a pleasure to see his mother again. And when I saw Miss Ruth again, she did remember me from way back then. She said, yeah, I remember you. Because she told me, my son is doing so many things and you seem like a lovely young lady. You need to move on past my son. And so I did. I went to school, forgot about Larry Williams, and went on because you listen to mamas. When mama says something about their sons, you pay attention. But she was so happy to see me, and I was surprised that she did remember me. And that's why I created his book, Poetry and Contrast. And his mother was so proud that her son had a book of poetry. And I was so happy to see Miss Williams again. And she was happy to see me, and she welcomed me into the family. I talked to her on her deathbed in the hospital, and she said some things to me that I held on to. And I'm thankful for knowing such a beautiful woman. The mother that raised him, from the mother that birthed him, two beautiful, strong women, Mary and Ruth, great women. One carried Larry Williams, and one raised Larry Williams. He became Humam Abdulmalik by the love of two beautiful, beautiful, strong black women. Brother Humam Abdulmalik, when he came back into my life, oh, he was smooth and he was cool and he looked grand. He was working for Jack Valenti, the motion picture industry director, I believe. He was a chauffeur. Got the opportunity to meet a lot of people, moving a lot of things. He was there with Jack Valenti for a long, long time, was very close to the family. Just like a friend almost, with respect and understanding. He was there when Jack Valenti took his last breath. He was there at the funeral. He helped carry that casket. You can see him from all the articles in the newspaper about this great man, Jack Valenti. This is a poem he wrote to Jack Valenti. Dear Mr. Valenti, these words I convey today to you in this short missive I have always conveyed to other people about you at engagements that we attended together, or someone asked me about you when they found out that I work for you. But you know, I always wanted to say these words in a room where you were with a lot of your close friends, so that I could touch your heart like you touched so many hearts in your lifetime, especially mine. The words that follow are what truly thought and felt about you. You were a unique, genuine human being whose charm Don Juan would have been envy of. I walked history books and thesaurus combined all in one. You were a walking history book and thesaurus combined all in one. Your power of negotiation and diplomacy was second to none. That could be attested by your friends on Capitol Hill on both sides of the aisles, Democrats as well as Republicans, and equal numbers, I assure you. As a family man, again, you were second to none. Special and endearing is the way I would put it. It described that attribute of yours. Your first two laws of self-preservation were as follows. The first being loyalty and trust, and the second being never to assume about anything or anyone. And finally, what made you a great, unique, genuine human being was that you treated everybody the same. Pauper as well as king, presidents as well as laymen. I seen and experienced it. That's why I respect and admire you for the gracious example of a human being that you displayed daily. My love for you is as the love that a son has for a father. Thank you so very much for allowing me to be a part of such a unique journey. Rest in eternal peace, your loyal friend, Humam Abdulmalik. And you know, and I happened to be around Humam Abdulmalik during this time he was with Jack Valenti. And it was a very special relationship. And I end with these last two poems. Yeah, these last two poems. As I honor Brother Humam Abdulmalik on the friendship train. Everybody shake a hand, make a friend. This is poetry as we celebrate April Conscious Self-Healthcare and Lymphatic Cellular Wellness Month, and April 30th being Emancipate Yourself for Medical Mental Slavery Day. And from the moment I started this celebration, Brother Humam Abdulmalik has been there. Like I say, this is the 12th year, and he was there from the first year. I remember it was just Ivy Hilton, Humam Abdulmalik, and oh, forgive me so much. I do not know why his name just left me, and I can see his face. And he is powerful Qigong master, and he teach. And Lord, his name just won't come to me. And that is so sad on my part that I cannot recall his name. But it was the day that Brother Hadari Abdul Ali made his transition too. Come to me, come to me, come to me. Manifest Ra. Yes, Manifest Ra. Ivy Hilton and Brother Humam Abdulmalik. We opened up the very Emancipate Yourself for Medical Mental Slavery Day program. And I thank them so much. And on that day, Brother Hadari Abdul Ali made his transition. He had a lot to say as his energy came into the room that day. So here's the poem by Brother Humam Abdulmalik. Say it loud through the whisper. That's what he named me on my first radio show, The Whisper. Because I really don't get loud. Everything I do is in a whisper. Say it loud and hear the silence of the truth. The ring so loud that you can hear it from miles around. The harmony that expressed through the words of wisdom conveyed by the whisper. Shh. So that vibrations of healthy living can be realized on the same level as conscious living through living consciously. Y'all know that's my slogan. Yes, that's what I heard, and now I believe, because I've been relieved of the ailments of disease. The whisper gave me the keys of self-healing through vibrant living and positive thoughts, and brought me to the point of eternal peace to increase me in lineal wealth by way of perfecting my health. Say it loud. I'm healthy and I'm proud. Brother Humam Abdulmalik. Well, we can go through some challenges, some changes, and the body can show you some things that make you want to run to that medical system and think that they have the answers for you. But all you got to do is step back, take a deep breath and realize, I don't live in fear. False education accepted as reality. False understanding. You got to know that your body will create cellular malfunctions and what you need to do. Because there's nothing inside of a pill that will help the body heal. There's nothing inside of taking an organ out and putting a strange part in that will make the human work any better. But sometimes that body gets to that point where you feel like you want to run. Like when I had this stroke. But I said, oh no, Karen, sit back. You know the truth. That energy and healing lies within you. And that's what we share on this friendship train ride. Truth and understanding. Brother Humam Abdulmalik wrote a poem for my mom. He wrote a poem, several poems for me. But one of the greatest poems he wrote was when he captured my sister Sandra. when she was about to make her transition. You see, this man has been in my life for a long time. You know my family as well as I know his. He wrote a poem for Sandra C. Walker, my sister. We called her Peanut. And I end this show that I honor Brother Humam Abdulmalik on, and I encourage you to go to, I think it's cdbaby.com, pick up his book, give him a shout out, get his poetry, and I'm telling you, it's some dynamic poetry in that book. These poems were so long, I couldn't choose them, so I chose these to honor him today on Poetry Month. Because I am a friend to him, whether he is a friend to me or to himself. I deal with energy, and energy shares the truth of life on everyone, through everything. Taking that deep breath as we do on a friendship train, supporting the lymphatic system, as I end this show where I honor Brother Humam Abdulmalik, sharing his poetry on Poetry Month this April 2022, as we celebrate Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day on this program, where we are going back in time, listening to all the great talks that we had. And I want to thank Brother Jamal of Inner Light Radio for putting this together, as we sit back and listen and learn and share and think about our life on Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day, and celebrating April as Conscious Self-Healthcare and Lymphatic Cellular Wellness Month. Of course, this is going to play by itself, but it's also going to play on the 30th when we celebrate. So this poem to my sister, Sandra Walker, was written by Brother Humam Abdulmalik in 2001. A beautiful flower that has been uprooted and transmuted to the next phase of life. A beautiful flower that had her bouts with struggle and strife, trials and tribulations, but she had no hesitation about living to the fullest. Her life realizations were built on caring, giving, and sharing. Sharing the lessons of life that one could look back on and say, that's what she meant when she didn't let me do it my way. Giving her all in whatever she endeavored, she was involved in, always with a smile, no matter with her or him. When they thought the light of life was dim, she brightened it up for them. Then they felt the flow of peace again, caring for all that she came in contact with, laying no blame for whatever circumstances they were in. Not even if you were living in sin, she would bend over backwards just to bring you around again. Sandra C. Walker, a beautiful spiritual flower, an elegant speaker, and a stylish walker, lived a full life she wanted us to know, and her spirit is here to help us continue to grow. Just look at the examples she left for us. Just reflect and you will remember them. And one more thing this beautiful flower wanted us to know before she had to go. She had a long talk with her Lord before she took her spiritual flight. I have all my affairs in order and the people in place to deal with my case. So let me lace up my spiritual shoes, 'cause in your bosom, how can I lose? 2001, Humam Abdulmalik, in honor of Sandra's incredible love of life, family, and friends, and my sister. Life is beautiful and wonderful. It is never ever mean, cruel, or kind. It is always loving and good. It's a poem that came to me when I asked the universe, why would you take someone so loving, so joyous, so happy, and she left to bless the world. Thank you for joining me on the Friendship Train this April as we celebrate Poetry Month and Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day. I honor Brother Humam Abdulmalik, born in this world as Larry T. Williams, started off as baby boy, raised by two beautiful women, Ruth and Mary. Boy, you was blessed, and still are. Woo woo! It's the friendship train, and I made it through that. Thank you, everyone, for coming aboard. Shake a hand, make a friend. Woo woo. Well, now, how could I forget this poem? The main poem that we need to end this show on, that we're talking and sharing poetry from Brother Humam Abdulmalik. This is one of his recent poems. Well, recently, like maybe 3-4 years ago. But never was I a slave. I like this poem. We aired this poem on WPFW on Marcelo Tolliver's show. We did it together. It was really nice. But I'm going to do it straight like he wrote it. Never was I a slave. I'm the substance of life without a price, 'cause I'm free and cannot be sold or bought. I don't care what your children were taught. In life, I'm a spiritual warrior, an African ninja, and I don't care if I offend you, 'cause I'm here to bend the lies back into the truth. No longer will truth and falsehood be strangely mixed. I see your tricks and lies and manipulations because of your melanin frustration. 'Cause you be chasing my dreams, builders of pyramids and great civilizations, and the optimal in race relations. So therefore, I was never a slave nor a nigger. You see, I have faith in God and don't have to see him to believe in. So therefore, I can't develop a God complex and take everything out of context, like marriages of the same sex. No reproduction, so what's the function? The makers of man-made laws gone mad like Nero, your hero, playing his violin as the world burns out of control by those in control with no soul and no passion for the masses. But you can't control me. I'm mentally free. And never was I a slave nor a nigger. You will never be able to figure me out, because I'm the mystery of ancient and future times, and long line of masterminds and griots, the keepers of our story. So in this so-called post-racial era, it becomes clear that everything is out of control as the people with soul are sold a new culture identity without indemnity. As you became your own enemy once again, as a system that hasn't changed has you believing social equality has been obtained, just because of the fame of one African king in our society of the Europeans who surrounded him. Do you think they treated him like next of kin? He's really their friend. Just look at the Republicans and how they vote. One's third eye is open. No, my third eye is open. I see clearly. It's merely hypocrisy being paraded as democracy for the republic in which it stands. Oh, say, can you see? It's all connected, from the sinking of the Lusitania to the present-day chaos by the Iranians. Man-made pandemics without limits, standing on the verge of total economical plan collapse. And this don't have anything to do with the zodiac. It goes a long way back to the Knight Templars of Solomon, who became the learned elders of Zion, lying in wait to implement the next phase of the plan. As they have commercialized the revolutionary slogan, power to the people, and the people don't know what they be buying, because the IRS, Federal Reserve, and the international bankers all be lying. The final sign of the new world order being put in place. But you see, I never was a slave nor a nigger, and I figure one aim, one person, one goal for those with melanin in their soul, and God's plan has unfolded. Ending this talk to share the poetry from Brother Humam Abdulmalik, this 2022 program. But you gotta pay attention to the line. Man-made pandemics without limits, standing on the verge of total economical plan collapse. And this don't have anything to do with the zodiac. Now, are we right there right now? And wasn't that powerful when he wrote this 3, but it got to be about 5 or 7 years ago. Thank you once again. Peace and love.
God is my life. That's my favorite healing affirmation is this one. God is my health. Say that. God is my health. Say that again. God is my health. The third time. God is my health. And that ought to be your word that you keep in your heart and that you affirm in your heart every day. So, healing is really the realization that you are made whole from the beginning. You see, you are cut from the perfect pattern. May not look like it. You may not act like it. You may not talk like it. That's why you experience otherness. But you are cut from a perfect pattern. That's why Jesus said, be you therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. Not another human religious perfection. The religious perfectionists miss it because they try to make another perfection. You cannot be perfect apart from God. You can't be anything apart from God because there is nothing apart from God. See, that's the illusion that is called the devil. And it is that illusion that torments you. Healing all lameness of man, of mind. You see, the text that is going to be read in just a few moments is about a lame man being healed. That's exoterically. But esoterically, it is the lameness of mind that is being healed. It is a partiality of mind that is being made whole. It is a disability of the mind that is being made able. It is a poor man that we're going to read about in the text also, because this man sat at the beautiful gate. He couldn't get any further. Why? Because he had not activated his faculties of faith and love. See, you've read that 3rd chapter of Acts for years and years and years. They never told you this. Why was the man lame? And what is it that causes a man or a mind to be lame? Failure to activate the spiritual faculties of faith and love. Where's that course on the 12 disciples? By Reverend Ike. You see, the 12 disciples in the Bible are really 12 spiritual faculties of man, of mind. But there are 2 of these faculties which, if you do not activate them and nourish them and strengthen them, you will not be able to enter into the beautiful gate, and you will always be lame, disabled, poor, and dependent upon materiality.
Greetings, everyone. Are you still taking care of your human body field cellular malfunctions from an outdated healthcare system? Why not shift out of chronic disease care, stress, pharmaceuticals, vaccines, and surgery, and step up to energetics, epigenetics, and quantum health and healing with me? Step up and take control of your health journey. I offer you 1 free human body field voice scan from your computer or phone, instant access to your scan results, and more free quantum health information. For more details, visit ConsciousSelfCare.com. ConsciousSelfCare.com. Or call Karen Khadijah Davis-Foulks, 202-248-7749. Yes, it's time to be your own wellness doctor.
Some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come fresh from narrow jail cells. Some of you have come from areas where where your quest for freedom left you battered by the storms of persecution, staggered by the winds of police brutality. You have been the veterans of creative suffering. Continue to work with the faith that unearned suffering is redemptive. Go back to Mississippi. Go back to Alabama. Go back to South Carolina. Go back to Georgia. Go back to Louisiana. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities. Knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friend, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Wow, family, that was a great show. I want to thank you so very much for tuning in to the Conscious Self Healthcare Conversation Radio Show right here on NLI Radio. It was a pleasure having you tuning in. Now, you must tell a friend to tune in. And if you haven't called in and shared your wellness story, don't you think it's time that you help somebody with your wellness story? Call in, share your story, join the conversation. I'm Karen Khadijah Davis-Foulks, and I invite you to visit my website, ConsciousSelfCare.com. Or you can just go to the number 4, the word CELLLIFE.com. Leave me some information. I would love to talk with you. And once again, I look forward to you joining us next Wednesday right here on the Conscious Self Healthcare Radio Show. It's a conversation where we uplift each other, where we share our wellness stories so we can help someone move from disease care to conscious self-healthcare. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to hearing from you next Wednesday.
Substance of life without a price, because I am free and cannot be sold or bought. I don't care what your children were taught. In life, I'm a spiritual warrior, an African ninja, and I don't care if I offend you, because I am here to bend the lie back into truth. No longer will truth and falsehood be strangely mixed. I see your tricks, lies, and manipulation because of your melanin frustration, because you be tracing my dreams, builders of pyramids and great civilization, the ultimate in race relations. So therefore, I was never a slave, nor a nigga. You see, I have faith in God and don't have to see him to believe in him. So therefore, I can't develop a God complex and take everything out of context, like marriages of the same sex. No reproduction, so what's the function? To make up man-made laws gone mad like Nero, your hero, playing his violin as the world burns out of control by those in control with no soul and no passion for the masses. But you can't control me, I'm mentally free. Never was I a slave, nor a nigga. You will never be able to figure me out because I'm the mystery of ancient and future time. In a long line of masterminds and griots, the keepers of our story. So in this so-called post-racial era, it becomes clear that everything is out of control, as the people with soul are sold a new culture identity without indemnity, as you become your own enemy once again, that the system that hasn't changed as you believe in social equality has been obtained just because of the frame of one African king in a society of Europeans who surround him. Do you think they treat him like the next of kin? Or he's really their friend? Let's look at the Republicans and how they vote. My third eye is open, and I see clearly. It's merely hypocrisy being paraded as democracy for the republic in which it stands. Oh, say, can't you see? It's all connected from the sinking of the Lithuania to the present-day chaos by the Iranians. Man-made pandemics without limits, standing on the verge of total economical plan collapse. And this don't have nothing to do with the Zodiac. It goes a long way back to the Knights Templars of Solomon, who became to learn the elders of lying in wait to implement the next phase of the plan. And they have commercialized the revolutionary slogan, power to the people. And the people don't know what they be buying, because the RIS, Federal Reserve, and the International Bank all be lying. The final sign of the New World Order being put into place. But you see, I never was a slave or a nigga, and I figure one aim, one purpose, one goal for those with melanin in their soul as God's plan unfolds.